for my wife's little job. It gets the camera clean. Watch this. Ooh, skin cleared right up. All right, we got telling y'all, the 8K camera is lit. Anyway, all right, we popping now, so let's go. We can unpack this thing now. So, devote the rest of your life to making progress. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. What the heck does that mean? Why are we talking about that? What does that, why was I inspired by that quote? So here's what it made me think about. And you guys tell me, how you feel or whatever the case may be, right? When I saw this and I was writing it down, I'm big on definitions. So the first thing I did was I looked up devote, right? Give all or a large part of one's time or resources to. Wow. And then progress. Progress is one of those words that we know, but do we know it? So I looked up progress. Forward or onward movement toward a destination. Devote. Give all or a large part of one's time or resources to. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. Forward or onward movement toward a destination. Now, let's think about that for a few seconds right here. When I looked up the definitions and I kind of sat with it for a few seconds, one of the things I thought about, I said, isn't it interesting that people that we consider to be leaders, people that we look up to, our athletes, our celebrities, people who are in prominent positions, people who are in leadership roles, people that we look up to for whatever reason, we have a really high standard that we hold them to. We have some really lofty expectations of them, right? Like we expect them to behave in a particular way. We expect them to think a particular way. We expect them to speak a particular way. We expect them to move, to act in a particular way. We expect them to essentially be better than us, right? Not better than us, but better than us. Right? We can safely say that. The people that we look up to, we expect them to live their lives by slightly higher standards than us. That's the whole point or the whole reason that they're in the positions that they're in, because we need something to strive for, right? We need those figures. We need those and so that's important. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? We need those mentors. We need those people who have accomplished things, those people who live a particular life, those people who have done some things and are doing some things, those people who have put in the work and who are in certain positions. That's great. We need that to look up to. We need that to strive toward. But what comes along with that are a set of standards and expectations that we hold them to. We hold them accountable to. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's great. Right? We understand that when we step into a position of leadership, when we put ourselves on the line, when we step to the front, we understand that, that there's some serious expectations that come along with that. I'll say it like that, right? If I step up and be the leader, I need to conduct myself as a leader. I need to be someone that people, are willing to follow. Why would people be willing to follow me? Because of the standard that I live by, because of the fact that I strive for excellence, because of the fact that I'm in pursuit of something greater, right? And it's even better when I come from where you come from, and we have some things in common, and we can identify with one another. We have some points where, wow, he's from a neighborhood like me. He's been through some of the things I've been through. He grew up in the crack and he'd been through this. No, wow, you went through that too. Wow. So when we find those points of connection with those people, then it's really amazing. And then we start to see ourselves in them, right? So we hold them to this high standard and we see ourselves in them. But what doesn't happen enough, which is what I want to talk about, is what doesn't happen enough is we don't then apply that same level of expectation to ourselves, right? We keep holding them up here, but we don't lift ourselves up, and we don't look at people in particular places and see, wow, okay, they have to think a certain way to be in that position. They have to speak a certain way. They have to move a certain way. Let me examine my life to ensure that I'm speaking the way that I need to be speaking, that I'm thinking the way that I need to be thinking, and I'm moving the way that I need to be moving, because I too am a leader. I too am called, right? Yes, we have people that we look up to, but we also have people who are looking up to us at the exact same time. So while we have leaders and while we have celebrities and these people that we look up to, we're also those people. And so we have to make sure that we are conducting ourselves a particular way as well. And not often enough, or it's too often, we forget that part. We forget that part, right? Someone who we look up to, they mess up and whoa, our hearts are broken. We're crushed. And we want to line them up. I mean, we want to burn them at a stake. We want to just condemn them and just as if they're not human beings. And more importantly, as if we have any room to talk, as if we're conducting ourselves, right? As if we never mess up, as if we never. So that's what I began to think about. Somebody said, how the heck you get all of that out of this quote, right? But I did. So I'm looking into it, and I'm like, so what would that look like, right? Because there are some expectations that I have of, let's say, your favorite team, right? Let's because that's something most of us can identify with, right? Your favorite athlete, you have some expectations of them. You don't expect them to, you expect them to look a particular way. You expect them to move a particular way. You expect them to speak a particular way. You have higher expectations of them than we have for ourselves. And it's okay, but it's not okay. It's okay, but it's not okay. Yes, we need to hold them to a very high standard, but we also need to hold ourselves to that very same standard because why not? Because why not? Right? Why not? And the same way we expect grace when something happens, why don't we extend? That's a different conversation, though, right? That's a different conversation. So now back to devote the rest of your life to making progress. What's devote? Give all or a large part of one's time or resources to progress, forward or onward movement toward a destination. So now let's talk about it. But that's where my mind went, right? We're so quick to condemn or beat people down, these people that we put on the pedestal, but then we don't hold ourselves to that same standard. And my number one thing is personal responsibility, right? So anytime I look at anything, that's where I take it. I run it through that filter. How can I use this to help me to, right? When I looked at this, I had to take a minute. I had to really reflect. Wow, devoted. Am I really locked in? If you've been rocking with me lately, I've been talking about this, making a commitment to keep my commitments to my commitments. I'm 1,000% committed to keeping my commitments to my commitments. That's a big deal. And essentially, if that's my core principle, if that's my number one rule, I never slack. I never cut corners. I never stop showing up. I never stop performing. I never miss. Even when I miss, I don't miss. Why? Because I'm committed. I'm fully committed and I'm locked in. And missing is a part of the game. Missing is a part of the process. So let's talk about it, right? So what are some of the things? How can we begin to embody this, right? Devote the rest of my life to making progress. First of all, if you take issue with that, that's a different problem, right? Every human on the planet should be able to identify with this. If I'm talking to first graders, they can identify with this, right? Once I'm able to explain what the heck I'm talking about, they get it. So this is applicable to every human on the planet. I don't care if you got $1 in the bank or $1 billion in the bank. This is applicable. So anyway, so let's talk about it. What are some of the things, and that's what I was thinking about. Well, what does that look like? A buddy of mine, he was in the ministry with us back in the day, and every time I would explain a concept and be talking about something, he would say, Pastor Reese, what does that look like? And I loved it because he would make me go deeper. He would be like, yeah, I hear all that philosophical stuff, but what does that look like? Because I hear you, and I read that too. I know the story, but what does that look like in my life? How do I? And I would love it. It was almost like we were in tandem, and we weren't, but we were, because I knew that was coming. So what does that look like, right? What does that look like? So the first thing is Again, I already mentioned it, a commitment to progress. But what does that mean? What is that? A commitment to progress. The making a conscious commitment to progress, meaning I'm not allowed to be stagnant. I'm not allowed to take a play off, right? Going back to the athletes. I'm not allowed to be stagnant. I'm not allowed. My standard is forward progress. My standard is to drive on. My standard is to continue to press forward no matter what. That's my standard. That's my minimum. That's what I'm going to do regardless. Because don't you expect that of your favorite athlete? Don't you expect them to be committed to moving forward even after a loss? Or you want them to just take the next 3 games off because they lost? Right? Don't you want your favorite, my man just jumped on. What's up, fam? He's a Warriors fan, right? They just lost a heartbreaker last night. But doesn't he wants the team to show up and give their all next game, right? That's the expectation. That was an ugly loss. We messed up. But right? The commitment is to show up and give your absolute best. That's what we expect of them. So at what point are we going to start to expect that of ourselves? At what point are we going to begin to embody those same things, right? At what point? And that's the challenge for this morning, right? I'm challenging us to devote the rest of our lives to making progress. Pardon me. I need to pin that again. I wish you could pin it for longer than a few seconds. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. It's so interesting, the standard that we have for our athletes. I'm going to use that one, right? But we don't operate from those same principles. We don't hold ourselves to those same standards. And I'm saying we need to. And I'm saying if you haven't, and if you haven't made that connection, that's what we need to do. We need to make a commitment to forward progress. So that means whatever had happened before, so what? That means if you don't feel so great, so what? You made a commitment to progress. You get what I'm saying? Right? We have to understand that, life is a journey. It's a journey. And it's a never-ending journey. Until God calls you home, you're on a journey. And so with that understanding, right, we have to be committed to easing on down the road. I just aged myself with that one. If you caught it, you my people. If you didn't, I'll explain later. Right? We have to keep easing on down the road. We have to make that commitment, just like we expect our leaders to. Your manager, director, the CEO of your company, if your company, has had a rough year, if they're looking at the books right now and they're looking like, 23 wasn't, don't you expect them to figure it out? You don't want them to just say, well, let's just lay off 50,000 people and that'll fix it. No, that won't fix it. Don't you expect more? Because they gave us that good speech when we came in that they were committed to. So if we can expect that from everyone else, then we need to expect that. We need to demand that. We need to make that the standard for ourselves. So that's the first thing I'm looking at, right? And along those lines of that commitment, I think it's important that we keep that front of mind. That's what I'm, Sean said his heart hurts right now. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Look at that. I'm putting that quote in front of me on my desk to read it every morning. Look at that. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. And the beauty of that is it has a slightly different, but the same, but slightly different meaning to each of us. And it has a different meaning every day. See, it's one of those things it's applicable to each one of us at every moment of our lives, right? She's putting that on her desk. So when she comes in, it's a constant reminder, right? That she's locked in and committed to making forward progress. She's committed. She's devoted the rest of her life to moving forward. So whatever that means in that day, right? Maybe she's not feeling so great, but I made a commitment, right? Maybe the tank is full and she's feeling amazing. Let me quadruple down while I'm on fire because I made a commitment, right? My coworkers, they're not pulling their weight. They didn't do the thing, but I made a commitment. That's none of my business because I made a commitment, right? You see what I'm saying? Imagine that. Imagine when the excuse shows up to try to stop your progress, you acknowledge it, right? Don't fight it, acknowledge it. Because, okay, you're right, but, comma, I made a commitment. I'm devoted, right? I made a commitment. See what I'm saying? That's fuel. That's a tool. That's a dart. That's a sword you can pull out, right? When those goofy thoughts show up and try to stop you, when those obstacles show up and try to stop you, when life punches you in the face, that hurt. That hurts, but I made a commitment. My eye is closed from that punch. I can't even see out this side, but I made a commitment. You see what I'm saying? But I made a commitment. Instead of someone encouraging you and telling you to drive on and trying to push you forward, and you're saying, but my eye hurts, but my knee hurts, but the Warriors lost last night at the buzzer, but this, but that, but I lost this, but I don't have enough. No. But I made a commitment. What if we transfer our butts, right? Y'all getting a BBL this morning. Y'all getting a new butt this morning. The new butt is, but I made a commitment. But I've devoted the rest of my life, right? But I devoted the rest of my life to making progress. So, okay, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this, but I made a commitment. I made a commitment to forward progress. You see what I'm saying? Yes, all hell is breaking loose, but I made a commitment. See the difference? Because that's the standard we would hold our athletes to. That's the standard you hold the CEO to. That's the standard we hold whoever, anyone in a leadership position. Those of you that are in the ministry, you hold the leaders in the ministry to that standard. Okay, yeah, things getting a little rocky. Now that's when you expect them to show up. When things get goofy, I could play low key and chill, but when things get goofy around here, my wife is it the expectation for me to step up? Of course. As the leader, that's my responsibility. So why not embody that every day? So when those goofy voices show up and try to talk you out of your forward progress, no, I know you're right, but I made a commitment. I'm devoted. I've devoted the rest of my life to making progress, right? So what else? Along with that is we have to learn from our setbacks, right? We have to learn from our setbacks. Thanks for the likes and the shares. If you haven't invited a friend to 10, do me a favor. Invite a friend to 10. Tell them to come on in. Tell them to pull up on us. So anyway, we have to learn from our setbacks, right? Too many of us are repeating the same goofy things, right? How many times are we gonna keep doing that same goofy thing again? It's like, yo, every time you do this, you just do this. At some point, we have to say, you know what? I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. I've experienced that already. I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. I've done that. I've been down that road. So I'm going to handle it a little bit differently. Normally, when someone speaks to me in a particular manner, I meet them there. I match that energy. That doesn't work because now it creates conflict, and now I'm feeling away and they're feeling away. And why am I giving them that much power? The next time that happens, I'm going to hold my peace. I'm going to raise my standard. And I'm going to continue to conduct myself in a manner that I know I'm going to be a leader, right? I'm going to be poised. I'm going to move differently. Because last time that happened, right, I didn't handle it in the best way, and I didn't get the outcomes that I really wanted, the outcomes that I was looking for. I often talk about this when I'm talking about managing our emotions, right? I got to stop saying that. I talk about that when I talk about managing our emotions. Pardon me. It's okay that frustration comes and knocks on the door. That's fine. But stop surrendering your life. Stop giving the keys to if my bell rings right now and I go to the door and it's frustration, do I just open the door and hide behind the door and let it in, let it come in here and run amok? No. I wouldn't do that in real life. So why do I allow that to happen with my mental and emotional state? Frustration can show up, and I need to engage with it just like I would someone at my door. What's up? How can I help you? Well, I'm here for ABCXYZ. Okay. I see why you stopped by. Yeah, my grass does need to be cut. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, but I'm good. I have someone that comes every Monday to cut the grass. Holidays threw us off a little bit, but thanks for stopping by, though. You know what I mean? Best wishes, all the best, right? I can acknowledge the thing. I can engage with it, and understand why it showed up. But then from there, I have to make a quality decision. So frustration shows up. I have to consider my relationship with frustration. Let me put it in a way y'all gonna understand. You got that ex, right? Here he come. Now I ain't gonna pick on the guys, pick on the ladies. You know, here comes that ex, right? Trying to woo you into something. Now, you know you're familiar with your relationship with him or her. You have the data. You know that. You understand why he showed up, right? Because you dropped that selfie, and now here he come hitting you up. But you know your track record. You know what happened. You know who you become when you interact with him. So why the hell would you go down that road when you know you've been there before? This time, nope, I'm not even gonna respond. Nope. Or I'm gonna respond, I'm gonna be polite, but I'm gonna keep my distance because every time I get entangled with you, here comes the big nope. I'm not going down that road. Why do we keep? You see what I'm saying? So we have to learn from our setbacks. We have to, it's okay to have them. And so I have them every day, all day. But the beauty in that is they provide the opportunities to learn. I'm not going to keep repeating the same mistake. That's for sure. I'm not going to keep doing the same thing. I'm going to keep doing some things, but I'm not going to keep doing the same thing. And that's what we have to do. We can't keep, come on, y'all. We have to stop. We have to learn from our setbacks. The setbacks are going to happen. Test trials and challenges are going to show up all day, every day. We don't get to not experience them. But wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it be the wise thing to do to learn from them? Isn't that what we expect from our leaders? Imagine a leader in your life who keeps falling for the same garbage every week, who keeps doing. You don't want to follow that joker? Come on, man. You keep where's the growth? Where's your commitment, right, to your forward progress? Where's your devotion to progress? Because if you keep falling for the same thing, where's the growth? All right, you fell for that last year. Now when that shows up, I'm familiar with you. Nope, let me keep it moving. Oh, now something new is going to get me. Cool, that's fine. But then we take that and now we learn from that. And every time it should be a different version at least. There should be a new angle, something else that gets me. That was a good one. And then I learn from that and I keep it moving. So we have to learn from those setbacks. We can't keep repeating that same cycle, going through the same thing over and over again, right? Don't they say that's insanity, right? Repeating the same thing and expecting a different, but that's what we tend to do. But if it was somebody else, if it was a celeb, if they were posted, oh, can you believe he did that? Really? But you do the same. Anyway, she said, I remember it. Right. Exactly. Right. I don't want to follow nobody that keep falling for the same, come on now. So what else, right? We want people who are open to self-reflection. That's a part of learning from setbacks, right? Don't you want your favorite athlete to watch the film and see what had happened and then make adjustments, right? Or do you want them to just show up again and fall for the same thing again? Do you want them to no. You want them to take a moment to self-reflect. We love when the athlete is in the press conference and says, I missed the mark on that one. I should have been boom, 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 or boom, boom, boom. I let this boom, 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 right? We love when the leader steps up. We love when the quarterback says, no, that's on me. You're like, nah, the defense, no, that's on me. I'm the leader. I'm responsible. Or the coach steps up. Nope, this one's on me. Well, Reese dropped the ball. This one's on me. Because what you guys aren't aware of is boom, 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 boom. I ran this and I called this. And Reese actually said this, that, and the third. And Reese, because it's an athlete, what he didn't tell y'all is he's been on a bad back all week. And that's why he couldn't stretch like he normally does and boom, boom, boom. But I didn't put us in the best position to win because Johnny was open on this side. I should have ran it over there to Johnny. He's like, oh, okay. That's a leader. That's taking responsibility. And that comes from that willingness to self-reflect and then learn from what happened learn from the setbacks. And that's a demand that we put on the people, other people, but do we hold ourselves to that same standard? Do you hold yourself to that same standard? Are you still tripping? Are you still having a meltdown over the same thing you had a meltdown about 5 years ago? Are you making it easy? Are you making it easy for the enemy to just get you off track? I don't know. Something to think about. If we're honest, we have these high, lofty expectations of other people. Some of us, even in relationships, you expect him or her to be, but you don't even hold yourself to that. So we want people that are willing to self-reflect, right? We want people who, right? We want people who are open to see and hear. We want people who are going to take responsibility. You want the leader to be coming up and talking about excuses? You don't want to hear that crap from no leader. Think about it. You want your favorite athlete making excuses? Nah, see, no, you want them to say, no, I see it. I saw it. I missed that play. I missed that opportunity. I saw that we were all over the place. I should have rallied the troops. I should have pulled us together in the huddle. I saw Reese was a little out of it. I should have gripped him up and kind of brought him back to reality. I'm the leader. I should have recognized that. You don't want the leader talking about, Reese wasn't paying attention and Sean did this and Johnny did this and Mina was so busy, trying to switch her glasses up to match her shirt that she wasn't even paying attention. There ain't no leader. You don't want to hear that crap. You want the leader to step up and take responsibility. So if you want the leader to do it, you are the leader. Why don't you do it? Why don't you stand in that? Again, why don't we hold ourselves to that extremely high standard? And we can, we should, we must. Anyway, what else? Check over here, see what's going on. Make sure I'm missing no comments on YouTube. All right, we good. So, what else, right? What else do you want to see from your leaders, right? What else? What else do you want to see that we can then apply because we're devoted, right? We've devoted the rest of our life to making progress. Pardon me. What else? What did we say so far? We said a whole lot, right? As always. So how about we expect consistency from them? How about that? Don't we expect our leaders and the people that we put on the pedestal to be consistent? Is that asking too much? No, not of other people. Oh, but when it's us. So we hold them to this very high standard, and we expect them to be sharp and be consistent, and we expect them to show up on time and be in place and do all the things. But I let myself off the hook every day, right? I'm not consistent. I don't think in a consistent manner. I don't speak I don't show up and walk I'm not dependable. I'm not that. But let my favorite athlete be off. He was late for a practice. What? How dare he? All that money they paying him, and he can't even get to practice on time. And you habitually late for work. If you don't sit down somewhere. But that's how we do. It's really interesting. We're funny. Yes, I'm saying appreciate that. We're funny. Those things catch me off guard. We're so fun. What? Are you serious? He dropped a pass. He's a professional. As if you go to work and you check every box, or as if you check every box as a man, every box as a woman. You're a professional parent. You get it right every time? Yeah, right. I've been parenting longer than most of y'all. My son, 28. I get it wrong every day. I keep showing up though. I keep trying. I learn from the mistakes, but you're a professional at your job. So you're telling me you have a flawless performance every day? Come on, y'all. And I'm not saying that they should be let off the hook. He is a professional. He should catch the ball. But that same standard of excellence that we hold them accountable to, where is that when it's me? Why don't you hold yourself to that same standard of excellence? Imagine what happens to the world. How many? There's like 10 of us. Imagine if the 10 of us make a commitment, right? Imagine if we say, you know what? What's our quote today? Devote the rest of your life to making progress. Imagine if we do that. Just a handful of us. What's the ripple effect of that? How much will the world be impacted if I say, you know what? Everything I do, I'm going to do with the spirit of excellence. That doesn't mean everything I do is going to be perfect, but I'm going to do it with the spirit of excellence. I'm going to show up. I'm going to give my best. I'm going to give my all. I'm devoted and committed to forward progress. I'm never going to stop. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm going to hold myself to an extremely high standard. My expectations of me, I'm going to continue to lift every day. Today's performance was great. Yes, now that's my floor. Right? That's my floor. It was my ceiling. Now it's my floor. So tomorrow I'm expecting a little more of myself. And I need to do what I need to do to move myself. And then imagine what happens if we do that. We can't even measure that. So, and we have it in us because we hold everybody else to those impossible standards. No. I take that back. It's not impossible because I didn't mention perfection at all. I said, learn from your setbacks, right? I said, just be committed to growth. Make a commitment to keep your commitments to your commitments. Right? That means just stay the course. Keep driving on, no matter what. And Matt, what does that look like in your life if you do that? Just think about that. So, pardon me. So when we talk about consistency and the consistency we expect from the people that we call leaders and the people that we put on the pedestal and the people that we look up to, again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, if I can hold you to that standard of excellence, then I can surely hold myself to that. And if I'm not, the question becomes why? Because I got plenty to say when Johnny missed the layup, my favorite athlete. I got plenty to say when he was late for practice. I got plenty to say when, somebody posts pictures of him at the club. That's why he can't catch the ball, because he out all night partying at the club. Oh, so you have everything tight and in order, and you would never you don't go out, you don't do anything, huh? Your stuff is just, like, really, come on. Couple things there. Number one, we understand that Johnny's a human. He wanted to go hang out. Like, what's wrong with that? And, right? And then we don't even hold ourselves to that same. So the audacity of us. So what I'm saying is, let's devote the rest of our lives to making progress. And again, let's those high standards that we hold everyone else to. And it's just expected. It's just real matter of fact. Why didn't he just? Really? Why didn't she just? All she had to do was, when I hear that kind of language, I just be like, okay, really? Well, all he had to do was do this, those athletes on the couch, why didn't he just go back door and do this? And oh man, just catch the ball, will ya? Ain't never caught a ball. I ain't caught a ball in 30 years. What? How do we? Anyway, my head is spinning. Let me see what y'all talking about. Boom, 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 boom. She said, tell the truth. Yeah, that's what we have to. Our standards are bendable and the results show you shifts and the wind blows. That's exactly. Our standards are bendable. No, your standard needs to be your standard. I love that. God has standards, and how he dealt with individuals are based on his standards he made for us, creates that. I love it. So just think about that. Just think, that's old school Tony Robbins 101, raise your standards. And that's what this is a call to do. A call to raise your standards. In what? In everything. How do you do that? Just create a standard of excellence. I want to be excellent in everything that I do. And whatever the cost, I'm willing to pay it. Whatever the cost, I'm willing to pay it. Just think about that. How that can show up in our lives, right? Let me tell y'all, one of my I have my 2024 affirmations, right? And one of them is, it costs what it costs. What do you mean? Excellence doesn't go on sale. It costs what it costs. The standard is what it is. To SJ's point, the standard is not the standard when I feel like it. That's not a standard. On days that I feel amazing, this is who I am. On days that I don't, this is who I am. Well, who the hell are you? What are you talking about? No. How I feel has absolutely nothing to do with, again, to whom much is given. Exactly. And the problem is, oh, thank you for that, sis. The problem is, see, we don't recognize and acknowledge how much we've been given. See, we a lot of times, because it's yours, can't really see it. You don't respect it enough. You don't appreciate it enough. We've all been guilty of that. Me especially. And that's one of the things I'm being extremely conscious of every day. I understand that. Wait a minute. And the more I stand before people, the more I work with people. I had someone reach out to me this morning. They're going through a really dark place, and I speak with them later. And it's like, wow. And I'm like, you know what, Lord, thank you, because this grown man is entrusting me with such a sensitive thing that he's going through. He picked me. That's a big deal, and I have to honor that. I have to honor him. I have to honor myself. I have to honor God in that. That's a big deal. So yes, to whom much is given, much is required. Much is given. The problem is you don't realize how much you've been given. And so, right, we're not like, wow, I'm so blessed. We're like, yeah, Lord, thank you, but I really need more of that. See, that's a totally different type of energy. Thank you for that. But now I'm going to make this point because this is important, right? The standard is the standard. It's not based on your emotions, based on how you feel. It's not do this on the days you feel like it, and on the days you don't, do this. It's not like a sliding scale. No, it costs what it costs. The standard is the standard. Every day I do X, Y, Z. Every situation I approach, I handle it from this perspective. I choose this. That's my standard. And every day, my mission, my goal is to raise that standard, is to be a little bit better. And I can miss the mark. That's okay. But the standard doesn't change. I miss the mark. I don't lower the bar. When I set the bar here, that's the bar. Ooh, I'm a little bit tired and this happened and so and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to lower the bar. No, the bar is the bar is the bar. I need to figure out what I need to do to get myself from where I am to where I need to be. Need to be, yes, based on what I have said. So we have to maintain those standards. We have to understand that the standard is what it is. It doesn't change. It doesn't change because you're tired. It doesn't change because you got a flat. It doesn't change because you and your spouse got into it. It doesn't change because your child is sick. The standard doesn't change. Because the standard is excellence. So whatever you're doing, whatever test, trial, or challenges shows up, we need to be conducting ourselves with the spirit of excellence. And we need to, again, hold ourselves to that same standard you would hold a professional athlete to. You would hold your CEO to. You would hold your pastor to. Because if the professional athlete say, oh, I got a flat, you ain't trying to hear that flat stuff. You're like, okay. Better call AAA, Joe, call a helicopter or something. You're wealthy and get yourself to the stadium. We need you. But you get a flag, right? Your baby was sick. Oh man, everything needs to stop and you need to I'm not saying don't handle your business, but I'm saying do it with the spirit of excellence. Because if your favorite athlete's baby, your pastor's baby would say, oh my, well, ain't you got a cousin or something that could watch him? I came to hear him preach. What? Really? But then when it's you expect grace and mercy to just fall from everybody, from everywhere. So again, if we can hold everyone else to these extremely high standards, then we can hold ourselves to these extremely high standards. See, standards are set, redefined rules from questioning our belief systems, how to raise standards. Always question the season we're in. I like that. Always question the season we're in. I love that. And I live there. I was sharing like in the fall that I was in my questioning everything season. Like I was in my well, but why? But why? Right? I was questioning my habits and rituals, things that I was doing, and some of the philosophies and ways that I was looking at things, some of the ways I was conducting myself, some of the things I was just questioning everything. And we have to be willing to do that, especially those of us that have a growth mindset and we're committed to our next level. Hey, Miss Peaches, thanks for tapping in. Right? We have to be willing to question those things. And I like that he said, what season? Sometimes we gotta take the bar and move it way up there because listen, we got some climbing to do, we got some work to do. Sometimes it's we gotta raise it as high because we're in a particular season, but we need to be conscious and aware of that. And we need to again still be operating in excellence. So anyway, I got some more, but I don't even want to go much deeper. But it costs what it costs. Right? It costs what it costs. Excellence costs what it costs. The standard is what it is. Right? It's up to us to hold ourselves to those same standards. Now, again, the quote we started with is devote the rest of your life to making progress. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. And how we got all around the world and back again, I don't know, but I love it. Any questions? Let's see what's going on over here. Any questions? Nope, we good. Any questions? To whom much is given, much is required. Just think about that. A lot of us, not enough of us acknowledge how much we've been given. And so we don't raise our standard, right? We don't see ourselves as having much being required of us. Right? See, we see the CEO. Well, he's the CEO. He makes this much money. He has the cool parking space. He does this. He does this. Of course, we have these high expectations of him. But what about you? Right? You're you. You're blessed. Your role is important too. What about? See what I'm saying? We can see all the much that everybody else was given, right? And so therefore, we see the much that's required of them, but we don't. Right? We don't hold ourselves to that same standard. Let's see. And you can progress to making forward, or even we can progress to making forward, or even progress to move backwards. And I believe that big time. One of the tricky things about what he's saying, and I believe I'm catching the point he's making. Again, bring the questions, y'all. I got a couple minutes. So one of the tricky things about what he's saying is, as we're moving forward and we're making progress, boy, you about to make me get my socks on this wood floor and show you this moonwalk. I mean, and y'all gonna be trying to get me to dance all the time and all that. I ain't gonna show y'all next time. But you're right. And let's think about that, right? It's so important to devote ourselves and be committed to progress. Because what happens is, see, we think, missing a moment, I missed a moment. No. It's so much deeper than that. A day off can cost you 6 months. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody, come on, let me know you know what I'm talking about. A moment off, me not showing up, me taking a week off to relax, that can set me back a year. Think about that, right? Because your steps are ordered. And again, I talk about this all the time. You're moving along and the thing you needed to take you to the next level, or the person that you were put on the earth to connect with, it's set up like this. And you took a break and you missed it. And now you gotta wait. I've experienced it. I know for a fact that me slowing down, me taking a breather, me regrouping and reevaluating things, me questioning my worthiness, me questioning whether or not I heard clearly from God, all those goofy things that we do, me not realizing and appreciating how much I've been given, and therefore not holding myself to a high enough standard. I know for a fact that set me back. And a day off doesn't set you back a day. No. No. That math is different. I don't know it, so don't ask me the formula. I don't know. But I do know that you cutting corners for a week can cost you a year. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all been there before. The math doesn't, you think, oh, I just took a day off. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No. And that's not to say that if you stumble, that now you might as well just, no, ain't no might as well just. If you stumble, it's okay. Or even if you intentionally do something, it's okay. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to stay in the race. Again, what would you expect from your leaders? The people that you put on the pedestal, the people that are the leaders in your life. What would you expect from the CEO of your company? What would you expect from your favorite athlete? What would you expect from the leader at your ministry? That same standard, you have to hold yourself to that same standard. But I'm telling you, listen, while you sit over here feeling sorry for yourself and you didn't show up for a couple days, you done missed it. That couple days you missed, you took feeling sorry for yourself, that could cost you a year. If you get inspired to take action and you don't, you can miss opportunity after opportunity. My mentor talks about the law of diminishing intent. And it's basically strike while the iron is hot. So right now, if you feel inspired, if you feel encouraged, you're like, you know what? I need to do X, Y, Z. Today is going to be the day. I'm going to do it. You do it. Take action. Do something that future you is going to be proud of. Do something that keeps you on track so you can. Some of you are right there. And it's a phone call, it's an email, it's a letting go of something. It's forgiving someone, it's forgiving yourself. It's taking a particular action, it's enrolling in a class, it's connecting, it's hiring a coach to help you do this. It's sending the thing. It's making the call. It's one thing that if you do that one thing, it'll unlock your next level. And you know it. And you hesitate to do it. Why? Because you know you can do it. No. You won't ruin it. I'm telling you, you're gonna set yourself back. Don't set yourself back 6 months by not making a 2-minute phone call. Don't set yourself back a year because you don't want to spend a couple dollars to work with a coach. Don't. Why would we do that? But that's what we do. But your favorite ball player, you want him to get with a shooting coach, right? You want him to make the investments. You want him to come to training camp in tip-top shape, ready to play. You want him to do all the necessary things. Why? Well, because he's a professional athlete, so are you. You're just as special. What's the difference? He has his calling, you have yours. You don't want him to cut no corners? Why do you cut corners? Just think about it. Think about it. If an athlete shows up at training camp out of shape, it could cost him a season because he shows up out of shape and lazy and has this attitude, I'm me, I made it, I'm this, and then some young hungry lion comes in there. And now what? Now he's trying to prove that he's still who he is to the young lion, and now he gets hurt because you came in out of shape, took the summer off, and you just blah, blah, blah because you're you. And that young lion got you running around the gym like a maniac, and now you actually hurt yourself. Now you're out for 6 months. Now that cost you a season. That cost you a couple dollars. Because you didn't. So the same rules apply to us. If you have something that you know you need to do, if there's something in you and you, man, I'm gonna do it. There's nothing stopping you but you. There's nothing stopping you but you. There's no barrier. There's no one outside your door picketing, keeping you from doing the thing. It's you. Change the story in your head. See the value. See how awesome you are. See how much you've been given, and hold yourself accountable to how much is required. Right? What's the difference? There's no difference. Again, that same standard. What about hold yourself to that same standard? That's what devotion is. That's what the commitment is about. Let's see. God will put toxic people in your perimeter after you realize they were toxic to see what you do. Exactly. It's like test day, right? Okay. You say you went over the material, you're ready. Cool. Bam. Here's a test. And if you fail, you gotta repeat the class. Let me tell y'all something. I got so tired of repeating classes. I'm so tired of getting momentum, getting things going, feeling great, and then God throw a test my way, and then I tell myself a goofy story about, and then I abandon that momentum. I've done it countless times. Not this time. Not this time. You know why? Because just like I talked about earlier, right? Learning from setbacks. That has set me back enough. I'm not doing that anymore. And there's something in your life that has set you back over and over. There's that one thing. And that one obstacle that you haven't yet been able to overcome. Make a commitment to overcome that obstacle. Commit the time, commit the energy, commit the effort, commit the money. Do what you need to do to get over the hump. Because why not? You're worth it. Much has been given to you, therefore much is required of you. Come on, y'all. We can't let you waste another year. Not taking action is going to set you. I say we're not alone in our forward progress. We have a great business partner ready to give his 50%, waiting for you to do your part. Exactly. The business partner will go beyond 50% and ready to pull and push on your behalf. Exactly. What he's saying is God is ready, waiting on you to do your part. He's saying if you just show up, I'll make the magic happen. Right? The miracle is the easy part. You just need to show up and position yourself so that you can be the miracle. But you won't show up. And you define show up. You won't do your part. You like, well, I mean, you want God to do his part. You want the miracle to happen, and then you'll show up. No, you got to show up. You have to make that commitment. You have to prove it. Because do you want it or not? Do you want your next level or not? Do you want to grow or not? Do you want to become the best version of you or not? Do you want to leave an amazing legacy or not? Right? Do you want your name to be attached to something great or not? Like, what are we doing here? So, listen, the law of diminishing intent, I'm telling you, when you feel that thing, you need to go. Whatever commitment you need to make it and go and stick to it. Invest the time, invest the energy, invest the effort, invest the finances to get you over the hump. There's someone waiting on you. Some of you, I don't know who this is for, me first and foremost, some of you, you not taking action is holding up my blessing. What? Yes. You not taking action, because we're all connected, right? So there's you not taking action. You're a teacher. You want to be an administrator. So, but you won't take that one extra course, or you won't take that test, or you won't you've been teaching a decade. You won't apply for that VP, for that vice principal position, right? You won't take those last 2 classes because you've been teaching, but you really want to be the school counselor. You won't find a mentor and do that. And there's a line of young people who only you can reach. And now they're dealing with Mr. So-and-so, and he's trying to bless his heart, but that's your assignment. And now Little Johnny is not getting what he needs because you didn't. That's blood on your hands. So not only do you benefit from you taking action, so does someone else. Someone right. I could do that all day long. Just think about it. To whom much is given, much is required. Thank you for that, Nina. But it's true. But you don't realize how much you've been given, so therefore you don't hold yourself to the standard of what's required. Come on, y'all, we gotta understand that. I'm understanding that I have to be obedient. I have to show up. I have to do and I have to do what God tells me to do, and I have to be where God tells me to be. Why? Because it matters. Because I said yes. And because when he tells me what to say and what to do and how to move, I need to do that. Why? Because, right? Someone is going to turn the corner. Someone is going to make an investment in themselves that's going to elevate them and move them to a particular place, which is going to encourage someone else to move into a particular place, which is going to open the door for someone else to do a particular thing. Why? All because I said yes. And I'll never meet those people. Someone said yes and opened the door and did something, and someone else did something, and someone else did something, and someone else did something, so that you can be where you are right now. You'll never make that connection. You're not supposed to. A lot of that is above our pay grade. So when we need to think about that, what we need to understand is when you hear that thing calling you, you need to embrace it and go. When you feel that yearning, you need to, as they say, follow the smoke. Right? When you see the smoke, you need to go toward it. That's your fire. You need to go. But some of us we get excited and we just sit in our hands. We don't do anything. We come up with this list of excuses. This is the reasons why. But we just said that our new but, if you missed that part in the beginning, your new but is, but I've devoted the rest of my life to making progress. I know it doesn't make sense, but I devoted the rest of my life to making progress. I know, but I made a commitment to keep my commitments to my commitments, so I got to figure it out. I heard the boss say everything is figure outable, so that means I got to stay in problem solver mode because I can figure this out. I know it's dark. I know I don't, man, there's no one here helping me. I'm trying to, okay, but that's okay. If I'm in a season where there's no one around, and that means it's just me and God, okay, that means I already have the answers inside of me. I just need to reach in there. I just need to free them. I need to give myself permission to go ahead and be great. Okay. Maybe he separated you from so-and-so because you always lean on so-and-so and you expect so-and-so to take the lead. But now this is your season to be the leader. So now so-and-so, that person, your crutch is not there, and you don't know what to do, and you feel like you've been abandoned. No, you haven't been abandoned. You've been set up for success. But only if you embrace it, only if you grab it. So then, are you going to grab it or no? Someone needs what you have. I need what you have. Someone right now is in position to help launch me out into the stratosphere, to touch more lives. But you won't do the thing you need to do to put yourself in that position so you can say, OG, I got you. Come on. Think about that. Anyway. Let's see. No questions? No questions? All right, I'm a bail. Y'all play too much. I told myself I was going to go here for about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour tops. Exactly. Somebody came across me sharing and said, man, I should have him speak to my church. I should introduce him to so-and-so. I should, and you didn't do it yet. Hey, Teresa, have a great day. Thank you so much for your support. Did you put that quote up there? You wrote that on a sticky or put it on your screen? Take a picture and let us see that. Because that's a big deal. That reminder of that commitment to devote the rest of your life to making progress? No, I can rock for it. I could do 20 minutes, bro. I could do that. No questions? All right. I wrote it where I can say that's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. When you feel stuck, when things are looking a little goofy, just remember, I devoted the rest of my life to making progress. And if you don't look at the definitions, devote, give all or give all or a large part of one's time or resources to. Progress, forward or onward movement toward a destination. Devote the rest of your life to making progress. If we just embody that and we really understand that, give all or a large part of one's time or resources to, I've devoted the rest of my life to making progress. What you up to? Making progress, baby. What you up to, progress? Yo, I'm gonna say this one while I'm waiting on SJ's question. And whoever else has a question, right? Listen. I was in the hospital one time visiting someone several years ago, and going through the lobby of the hospital, and there was construction going on. It was, it's construction. It was dusty. They were remodeling. And you got over, you gotta navigate. It's all covered up and such. And I got to the elevator, and I went to hit the button, and something magical happened. There was a sign on the wall above the elevator button, and it said, "Pardon our progress." I said, what? Pardon our progress. When I tell y'all that I took ownership of that. Whoever came up with that, appreciate you. But see, they were beautifying the place. They were fixing it up, but fixing it up was causing it not to. So we're going to go through, progress is not always cute and pretty, but sometimes you have to pardon your own progress and you have to beg your pardon of other. I'm telling you, that pardon your progress thing. So that gave me the understanding, like, oh, it's okay. It doesn't have to be cute. Sometimes climbing up the mountain, you're going to rip something, you're going to hurt something, something's going to bleed, something's going to hurt. But I'm yet climbing. And then if when you start to question it, you need to say, just pardon my progress. I'm making it happen. When someone questions it, just pardon my progress. I'm making it. Anyway, I'm telling you, that day changed my life. I took a picture of that so quick. I'm telling you, I used that with the next service. I used that. Anyway, okay, here we go. You said devote yourself to excellence. That word might be something most can't visualize. How to get to that level. Excellence. Devote yourself to excellence. Yeah. So that's a really good point, right? So let's talk about it. So my 2024 my affirmations, right? Where they at? I got it right here. I keep it right here. I read it every day. One of them is it costs what it costs. Excellence does not go on sale. Right? It costs what it costs. And here's what I have to go along with it. And let's see if this kind of paints a good picture. It says, it costs what it costs. Excellence does not go on sale. I recognize the true cost of excellence, and I willingly commit to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. Oh, I love that. Pardon the construction. Exactly, right? Whatever we need to tell ourselves. Listen to this. It costs what it costs. Excellence does not go on sale. And here's my quote that I have with it. I recognize the true cost of excellence, and I willingly commit to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. I willingly commit to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. I willingly commit to paying whatever cost. That means I'm I'm committed to paying the price before I even see the price. I don't even have to check the price tag because it doesn't matter. Because I willingly commit to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. I think that sums it up. And so then the question, it begs the question, what's that even mean? How can you do that? You don't have to. Willing always comes before able. That's why I positioned it like that. I willingly commit to pay whatever costs, right? When I take my son to the sneaker store, I willingly commit to pay whatever costs, right? I willingly commit. I don't know. He might pick some chucks that's $50. He might, other day, took him to get some sneakers. He picked some LaMelo balls. They was $150. I willingly committed. It was like, come on, let's go get some sneakers. I didn't give him a budget. It didn't matter, right? And we just talking about some sneakers, but come on, stay with me. Stay with what I'm saying. I willingly commit to pay whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. So I'm committed to walk in excellence, period. I'm not committed to walk in excellence on the sunny days. I'm not committed to walk in excellence when SJ calls me to encourage me. And I'm committed to walk in excellence, right? When the color of Mina's glasses excites me. And I'm committed to walk in excellence when I see Miss Peaches working out in her driveway. I'm not committed to walk in excellence just on those times. I'm not committed to walk in excellence when my wife says something, giving me an encouraging word. I'm committed to walk in excellence, period. I'm committed to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. So if I got to drag myself in, I'm going to drag myself in excellence. If I have to do it sleepy, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be excellent while I'm sleepy. It doesn't matter. Because why? I willingly commit to paying whatever cost is required to walk in excellence. This is what I read every day. This is my 2024 affirmations. It's right here. Well, I mean, y'all hear me reading it, so I know I'm not just, but that's one of them. So I hope that sums it up. Willing always comes before able. So before we even think about the thing, because you can learn the skill. You can learn the skill, right? You can learn the skill, but you have to be willing. And that's where the commitment comes in. Learning the skill is you can learn the skill. If you need to learn how to get better at Excel, and that'll help you get a raise at your job. If you get good at Excel, because you can move up and that'll be a good raise. You can pay for an Excel course. You just go on YouTube, find someone that's teaching what you need to learn, and commit some time. But are you willing to do? You can learn the skill. There's people teaching the skills all day, every day. We have unlimited information. So, but the willing has to come first. Are you willing to do it? Because once you're willing, then able will show up. Exactly. Listen, I got a doctorate from YouTube University. Absolutely. But the thing is, you have to be willing to commit. You have to be willing to commit. You have to be willing to be a novice. That's a part of the problem for most of us. See, your ego gets in the way. You don't want to start from step one. You don't want to start from the beginning. Well, because I'm me and I'm this and I have this and I have this degree and I've been here and I've done this. No. My mentor says the willingness to be a fool is the precursor to greatness. The willingness to be a fool is the precursor to greatness. What? Yeah. I'm willing to start. I'm willing to learn something. I'm willing to do that. That's what growth is. The willingness to be are you willing? Most of us aren't willing. That's why we won't do the thing. That's why we won't take action. Because taking action, it's a shot at my ego. I don't want to because I had someone reach out to me. He's a coach, right? He's doing well, right? And he's struggling. He said, bro, I wanted to reach out to you, man, months ago, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I'm thinking I'm looking at us as peers, but woo, woo, woo. And I laughed. I said, I get it. I get that all the time. That's okay. But we're here and we're going to be professional and I'm going to help you get through this. Let's go. But think about it. He delayed reaching out for months. Think about the impact of that. Anyway, my folks want to jump on. What you talking about, fam? Let's go.
Yo,
SNJ Property Group, SJ, what's popping?
listen, I just want to come on here and tell you, man, you cooking. Every day you cooking, you know? And this kind of content needs to be out here. I'm telling you guys, man. Like he said the other time about negativity is a ongoing trend, right? Like positivity, positive words, getting us together, keeping us accountable, going through our behavior, human behavior. I think all that leads to us making forward progress. So again, man, I salute you. I love you, and you're doing your thing, man. And yo, you need to be on, like, bro, you already know.
I appreciate you, fam.
You already know. So yeah. So I just want to give you, let you know that this is needed, and I feel refreshed right now. I'm ready to go out there and get it.
Yo, thank you. I'm just gonna say that. Thank you. I appreciate you for sure. Thank you. That means the world, man. Appreciate that for sure. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Oh man.
All right, bro.
All right, fam. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, that was beautiful. Appreciate you, fam. Need 1 second, good peoples. Any other questions? Oh wait, I see some comments. Let me make sure you can stifle your growth because of your ego. Oh, all the time. Oh, all the time. Oh, that's what it is. Listen, an unhealthy ego. Listen, I see it all the time, especially when I work with couples. Interestingly enough, that's when it shows up. I work with couples a lot. It's like, oh, he said, and that struck your she said, so that. And once you start talking about that and understand and get them to understand what a healthy ego is, the problem magically goes away. Magically. Sure, what's your question? Drop it in the chat. Yes, we are. We're having a great time. Appreciate you. Mina, thanks for tapping in. All right. Got a couple minutes. Y'all play too much. I'll be on here all day. Texting my son while I'm waiting on your question. If anyone else has a question, it's the time to do. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Let's do it. So, look at the question, right? It's interesting, right? And I like the question. How do I stay confident without being too egotistical? So, I think we need to make sure we're clear on what confidence is, right? I like to define confidence as the willingness to try, right? The willingness to try. Believing in yourself, believing in, self-confidence, belief in your skills, your abilities, believing in yourself. So in my definition of that, right, I don't know, I don't see any conflict with that. What happens is, to your point, right, is let me think about this. Becoming too egotistical. So I'd rather have to tell you to whoa, chill, than to have to pump you up, push you, encourage you, push you. It's much easier for me to be like, sis, bring it down just a little bit. Or no, let your light shine. Play big. Why not? Right? Why not? So again, if you have checks and balances in place, right? And you're willing to hear from people that you trust. And when someone maybe challenges you for moving a particular way, see, here's where I messed up many, many moons ago. I started to come into myself and I started to walk in confidence. I started to believe in the word and believe in what God said and who God spoke to me and told me that I was. And things began to align and I began to show up, right? And play big. And I allowed people close to me to tell me that there was somehow something wrong with that. That somehow me being confident and believing in myself and conducting myself accordingly, how somehow there was something wrong with that. They used words like arrogant. And I'm like, where's the connection there? And I couldn't make the connection, but I bought into it. And then I dimmed my light. And then I deprioritized me, because every time I wanted to prioritize me, that's what I reflected on, right? So I needed my ego during those times, right? I went through some things. I needed my ego. I needed a healthier relationship with my ego, because that would have caused me to check myself and continue to move the way that I needed to move. But instead, I just abandoned myself. So we need to have a healthy ego, right? Because in my situation, I put my ego, I locked it in the closet, and it caused me to lose myself. So you need a healthy ego. Again, I'd much rather have you being So I would say having checks and balances is important, right? And I would say being open to listen if someone is bringing something to your attention. And again, I would say being open to self-reflection and being self-aware. And if your behavior is having a certain impact on the people, places, and things around you, being willing to examine what's happening, not just stop, not just throw it away, because you could just be around people who are bothered by your confidence. But we can't just assume that. The willingness to explore it, the willingness to look at it, right? Because you don't want to lose that, because I did it. And then I blinked and a decade went by and I had no clue of who I was. Mr. Cook, thanks for tapping in. So you don't want to just lose it. You don't want to, and that's what I did. So in your case, right? You see what I'm saying? In your case, you keep driving on. She said, I love my confidence, as you should. Keep it. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. So that's perfectly fine. It's just that work on your self-awareness, right? Use that confidence to work on your self-awareness, so that if you start to kind of bug out a little bit, you can catch it, or be open and be willing to hear, right? So there's a dance that you have to dance, but I'm telling you from experience, listen, healthy ego is great. You need it. Because that's how we lose ourselves. Because there's a part of us saying, no, do that. And then you're like, no, I don't want to, it's okay. And then we'll off with our own head. And that's what I did. Lost myself for a decade. Completely, my identity was just gone. Because I bought into what some people very close to me said. And then come to find out later, my confidence was just shaking them up. They were bothered because of the gift, because of the anointing, because of who I was, because of what happened when I walked in a room. It wasn't that I was doing anything off. It wasn't, because everything I did was in the service of people. Everything I did was in alignment with the word and in alignment with the vision of the ministry. Everything that I did. So arrogance where? But now I have the perspective and I understand, because I have a healthy relationship with my ego. But then I didn't. I came from being a ball player and running the streets and being ego driven to coming into ministry, and literally so I went from right field all the way to left field. Now I'm in the middle. Now I have a healthy relationship with my ego, and I can tap into it when I need to, and I can stand tall on some things when I need to, but I'm also willing to check myself and be checked. SJ's on here tell you, I'm open to be checked. That's what a healthy ego looks like. I'm not going to be forced into a corner either, because I know my motives are pure. I know my heart is pure. So even if I am in my bag a little bit much, it's okay, because I know how to center myself. So because I love don't you dare lose that confidence. No, you can keep that ego under control. You can become super self-aware, but don't lose that. You need that. You need that. Let's see. Believing in thyself. Don't allow that ego to get in the way of progressive behavior. Exactly. I love that. Right? So we need our ego. We just need a healthy relationship with that ego. And that's something to look into. If but self-awareness will help you big time. And again, being confident, being open, and being willing to hear, right? Being willing to listen, but prioritizing your well-being all at the same time. And that's the piece I missed. I wasn't aware that was a thing. I wasn't aware that I could do that. I didn't know I was allowed to do that. Okay, here we go. How can I get away from, very manipulative and charming as well. Okay. How can I get away from? So that's a really good question. So you can't get away if they're at work, right? You can't escape the person, and life isn't about that anyway, right? Life isn't about avoiding or escaping problems. It's about learning from test trials and challenges and allowing them to help us to grow, to help us to develop ourselves. And so this person is there. It's something about them. It's something about them that's connecting with something in you, right? And so let's take them out of the equation. Right? What's going on? What is it about this person what are they connect? What's in me that's right? What is that? Why am I giving this person so much power? Why am I allowing this person? Why am I consumed with what is it there? What's in me? What's happening there? And I would say like some self-reflection needs to take place, because here's an example, right? Here's an example. I went to a presentation one time, and it was a gentleman. He had been working in the school district in Charlotte for like 20 years. And what he was sharing with us was that they were looking for minorities to come into the school district and do some things. Like there was basically some money and some programs set aside where they needed minority people, and they needed people that had their stuff together. I happen to have my stuff together on paper anyway. So I'm in there, and I still had a little too much hood in me. Still had a little too. I hadn't let go of some things. And so during the presentation, the way he was delivering the information, there was something about his energy. There was something about the way that he was moving that had me on the defense, that had me looking at him, and I was putting some things on him, but it had nothing to do with him. It was me. Looking back, you know what it was? He was confident in himself. He was up there standing tall and looking good. He was talking what he knew to be true. And he was sharing ideas and insights. And literally, he did this on his own, offering to help people. I'm sitting in there trying to figure out where's the angle. What's going on? Who does boy think he is? Blah, blah, blah. But what it was he was what I needed to be at the time. He was confident in himself. He was standing tall. He was speaking from a place of power and know-how. He had some things in him that he was sharing. He literally spent money to rent a room at a hotel to invite some people in that he thought could help, right? That he thought he could help. And I'm in there. Here's the funny part. It gets better. So what he was saying, so it was like, he was talking about, different programs. At the time, I had released a book, right? It's called The Power of Me, Becoming Your Own Superhero, where I teach about focus, decisions, communication, and imagination. Those are our 4 superpowers. And I had a program, a workshop program under focus. I had the whole package together, and I had it. I was the only one in the room that already had the books. I had books with me. I gave him one. Right? I had the program on the computer mapped out, boom, 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 even had a copy printed out because I had done a presentation prior to that. So I had my stuff in a row. If anyone in the room could have had a conversation with him and received those blessings, and I'm talking about it was great money, like really great money. Not good money, it was great money to do what I love to do. I missed that opportunity because I was in there, because there was some things in me that I hadn't cleaned up, and I missed it. So we have to look at that. What's happening here? Because he's just a dude. But I was tripping off of him knowing himself, him being confident, him moving. He could move however he want to move. He could talk however he want to talk. I'm there to hear the information, to sift through it, to take what's for me, and to pounce on this opportunity. Now that'll never happen. But then, and that wasn't 100 years ago. It was a couple years ago. I missed it. So now I'm well aware that if there's something about you that kind of rubs me the wrong way, that's a gift for me, because I know it's not you. That's a gift for me. It's like, okay, what's that? What? Oh, really? Does he really think that? Or is there something in me that is kind of bothered or agitated by? There's a lesson here. I've grown to that point, but at that time, not so much, right? So in this situation, this person is a gift. This person is there to help sharpen you, to help you to grow, to help you to recognize some things going on with you, some things that you need to tighten up. It's not that person at all. They're there for you. So that's what I want you to look at. Don't look at them. He's a jerk. He's a what's in it? I learned my lesson. There you go. Good. And now keep applying it, because another test is coming. Another test is coming. He's going to be extra in his bag next time you see him. He can be feeling himself for sure. But I need you to stand on your principles, and I need you to see it as an opportunity for you to grow and take yourself to the next level. Let's see. She said, okay, I feel pretty good with that. Good, I'm glad. I'm not afraid to accept constructive advice or criticism. Exactly, I love it. And look, even if it's not constructive, even if it comes in the form of something just ugly and nasty and the delivery sucks, be mature and intelligent and sharp and witty enough to even sift through that to hear what's actually being said. Now that's the next level right there. You can listen. You can cuss me out. I'm gonna listen. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. She said all that to tell me ... Okay, cool. He said all that to, okay. See, you got to be able to receive whatever. I don't care about the packaging. I want to hear the lesson. And I learned that in the ministry. I didn't apply it that one night. I missed that opportunity, but sift through because sometimes you might look at the package and miss the beauty of the gift, because you're looking at you ever get a package delivered, the box all dinged up and banged up, you're like, what in the world? But if you open it and the thing is okay, does it even matter? You're just gonna throw that away anyway. And a lot of times with people who you think you're talking to, that's when the ego is tripping. Because, so it don't matter to me how you deliver the information, right? As long as you're in my personal space, right? And my personal space is extra because my arm's so long. Long as you know what I'm saying? Long as you don't get too close and I got it, you know what I mean? But anything past that, especially when you're talking junk, because there's something in that. There's something to be gained from that. I had someone come on here one time. I was live. It was a while ago. And he was like, man, you're talking good, but that echo is killing me. Wow, okay. He's actually right. There's a crazy echo in here. And then I started using the Apple, the plug-in puppies, and that helped a lot. That helped the sound a lot. And then, of course, recently I made the investment in, so, he took he said what he said, and I'm like, I could have took it. I could have said, well, but I'm like, no, he's actually right. It is a crazy echo. See, because my ego is in check. Once upon a time, I might have told him a little something different. I might have told him, beat it then, noodle. But I'm growing up a little bit. Great confidence is just a mirror to others as a reflection of what they're not doing and to get some salty. That's true. That's very, very true. be kind, keep it cordial, don't talk too much, don't share too much. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And basically what Mina is saying, back to the question, that's how you can maintain the peace while you're doing the self-reflection and while you're processing through it, right? That's how you just keep it professional and move the way you need to move, right? While you're processing through it. And then once you figure out what it is and you heal and you grow, then you can tell them thank you, right? You can thank them, drop a Starbucks gift card on his desk without even saying nothing. You know what I mean? Hook him up. If he a Pepsi drinker, just drop a cold Pepsi on his desk. Don't even let him know it was you. Yes, confidence bothers so many people these days. It comes with hidden wisdom. Exactly. So, we can't let that stop us. Don't do what I did. Don't disappear for a decade because somebody was bothered by your confidence, especially people close to you. I'm talking about these were people close to me. And that's why it hit me so hard. And here I am thinking I'm out of the will of God because they said that, and I'm all the while So remember that. Stand in your confidence. Let's see. The self-reflection is awesome. We have to do that. I'm glad you caught that. That's what we must do. I learned my lesson. I love it. I was people please. We popping now. Definitely taking notes here. That's what I'm talking about. I got to take some of the Bronx, but I hear you. I'm willing to grow. Listen. No, keep that. But again, just be open. Just be willing to listen. But keep that. I'd rather someone come to me and say, yo, I'll be a little too turned up. I gotta get my ego under control because I get the bugging out a little bit. Cool. That's easy. But 99% of people, they need to be. So if you're up there, cool. Of course, don't be delusional, not too much. A little bit of delusion is okay. So yeah, listen, use that Bronx energy to continue to grow and transform. Use that to invest in yourself. Use that to push through. All right, y'all good peoples. I'm out of here. Y'all done made me work today, like a lot. Like that's crazy. I appreciate y'all though. He lives in fear now. I better keep my mouth shut. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just bring a different energy. Bring a different version of you. Bring a kinder, sweeter, more evolved version of yourself to the situation, right? You don't have to say anything directly. Just let your behavior speak for you, right? Let the changed behavior be the thing. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. Especially with my wife. I'm like, you know what, sweetie, you're right. And then I just concentrate my energy on change behavior. Anyway. All right, good peoples. You guys rock. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. Yes, Mrs. Positivity, actually a few times a day, right? The goal is a morning and evening. SJ, don't start talking junk. He been grinding me up, telling me we need a specific time so we know to lock in, and I'm working on that. El Promiso, I'm working on that, right? But yes, daily, morning, and evening. It's looking like it might be 9 a.m. and 8 p.m., but don't hold me to that. So just follow, stay tuned, and when I'm ready to commit, because again, I want to keep my commitment to my commitment. I want to say 9 and then it's 9:42 and because I respect your time and energy too much. So yes, it's daily. So stay tuned and I'll be posting it. Thank y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all so much. Listen. Make sure that you don't just take something here, something connected with you. Do something, take action, actually do it. Don't just be high or have that good Sunday afternoon energy, as I like to say. You come out of serve, whatever, you're full. And then come Tuesday, you done forgot all about that. No. Do something. Strike while the iron is hot, as they say, right? Don't let the law of diminishing intent, you on fire right now and you going to call so-and-so, you're going to do so-and-so, and then you don't, and then you don't, and then you don't. And then you need to fill up again. No. Do the thing, and then next time I'm on, come back and tell me, yo, I did, so we can celebrate those wins. All right, that's the challenge. I'm challenging y'all to stay sharp and actually do something for yourselves. I love y'all. Oh,
to put my 2 cents in again. This is my 2 cents. This is a Lucille, veteran actress, been acting over 27 years, hit movies.